Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Capricorn. Please keep in mind, this is a general reading and it's also timeless. So this could be in relation to events that have already taken place in the past, things that are currently playing out in your environment, or things that may come up in the near future or even further afield. So please keep that in mind. However, I do feel that these messages will be brought to your awareness when you need to hear them. Now, in regards to the spread, I'll be pulling one card from each of the 3 oracle decks I have here. So we'll start with the Dark Mirror, we'll pull one from the Angelarium, one from the Moonology, and then we'll also get some further insights using the Wild Unknown Tarot, okay? Now, so let's get shuffling for you, Capricorn, and see what's coming up. Now, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and even sharing my videos. It really does go a long way having your support, so thank you so much. And after all, I created this for you guys, so it's awesome to see how this relates to your circumstances when you share that information with me. And also just seeing, you know, that you guys keep coming back to the channel, so thank you so much for your continued support. It does also help bring these videos to a larger audience when you engage with them, so please continue to do so that I can relay this information to those who would also benefit from it as well. Others who would also benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit the notifications bell so you're informed of when your next reading goes up on the channel. I do accept personal readings. If you're interested, you can find the information in the description box below. There you'll also find the link for Patreon if you'd like to access exclusive readings that you will not find anywhere else, as well as some other information and spiritual guidance videos. Okay. So, okay, we got it. Capricorn. So the card you have here is from the Dark Mirror deck, is Masquerade. Masquerade. So for those of you who I'm picking up on, because bearing in mind there's a lot of Capricorns in the world, right? Especially if you're looking at this in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. But for the group that I'm picking up on specifically, as you all know, we have an outward facing mask and then there's the real us, okay? So the ego essentially forms a mask over a period of time that it uses to interact with the outside world. Now, often when we talk about a mask, we see it as something that has a very negative connotation. But the fact is, we all have an outward face that is very different from what is contained within, right? And it's simple, you know, that comes with the territory of navigating this 3D existence. You need the outward face so that, you know, you can go about your day-to-day things, right? Your day-to-day life. However, sometimes we form a mask that isn't really even remotely reflective of how we feel inside. That's when it becomes a problem, because then you're not living in an authentic manner, right? Because your mask, while obviously you're going to have certain projections towards certain energies, certain environments, certain connections, right? It still has to be indicative of yourself, your true self, right? It's just a form of yourself because we are multifaceted, right? But I feel like on some occasions we get too caught up in what we think the mask should be, how it should look, how we should express ourselves in certain groups or in front of certain energies. And sometimes we can become lost within that, right? So I feel like that's a little bit of what's happening right now for you, Capricorn, in that, you know, you're kind of I feel like you're downplaying yourself a lot for the sake of the environment in which you're navigating in, right? So it's not really allowing you to express, not even really a small part, you know, of the much greater puzzle that you are, right? So that's a problem, because while, okay, yes, you're not going to expose all aspects of yourself to all people, that's not going to happen. But when you feel like you have a mask that doesn't even fit anymore, and it really is just getting constricting and just suffocating, then that's a problem. That means it's time to, you know, peel that mask off, break it down, and form a new identity, right? Outward facing identity that is more in alignment with how you truly feel, who you really are at this point in time, because you are evolving as a being, right? So obviously your mask will also evolve as well. It will change, it will transform. So that's kind of what you're going through right now. I feel like you're going through some growing pains because you are changing, right? Okay. Let's have a look at the Angelarium and see what else we can get with regards to this energy, some insights. Because yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know, there's always this adjustment period. Whenever we're going through a significant transition or transformation, there's always a really kind of awkward that in-between moment between where you were and where you're headed, right? So it's always a little bit uncomfortable. So I feel like that's kind of where you're at this time. Now, the card I just pulled from the Angelarium was Phanuel, Angel of Truth. See, this is it. This is all about what we're talking about. That energy of being your truth, expressing it, finding deeper truths within yourself, your inner knowing, right? Expressing your own personal truth, right? And you can't do that with the mask that you're currently wearing because it is not of that energy. It no longer applies to where you're at now, who you are at this time, and just what it is you need to express in the world. It's not a true expression of who you are. That's the thing. So it's time to have a bit of a shift with that and take a look at what needs reflecting on. If there's aspects in your environment that needs changing, so connections need readdressing, you know, how you communicate and interact with people. So there's a lot of introspection that's taking place for you at this time because you're going through this significant change. So you're having to really take a closer look at the details, right? Because at this point, they truly do matter. Okay, so I'm just going to the booklet to find the signs for this energy, because each card has its own set of specific signs that are relevant to it. So I just want to find this one for you in case it comes up and you feel there's some significance there, right? So for Phanuel, it's a case of the signs for this are wine, a torch, a bleeding eye. So wine, a torch, a bleeding eye. So if you come across any of these, any of these signs, and you feel like there's something about it that's holding your attention, there's something significant there, there may be a deeper message regarding your personal truth, this new truth that you're stepping into, right? The newest and truest expression of your current self, that's trying to be relayed directly from the divine, from the source itself. So do, pay close attention to that and see why is your attention being drawn to that? What message is playing out at that time? Is there certain music? Is there certain phrases? Are you seeing something specific, right? Because there may be some kind of synchronistic event taking place at that time that's going to be relevant for you, okay? But it's basically asking you, you see Phanuel here, right? He's got his robe on, right? He's looking very, godly, essentially. He's a pillar in the tree of life, okay? And then you have him holding the torch, kind of like reminds me of ancient Greek mythology, the way he's there in his robe, holding his torch, practically got a toga on, right? So yeah, you're taking up the torch. The torch is being passed to you at this time, Capricorn. It's like, okay, you're ready to be initiated into these deeper truths, right? And become a deeper, more profound expression of your former self and being brought into alignment with, your higher self as well. So I feel like, yeah, your ego is undergoing a metamorphosis. I don't feel like it's an ego death at this time. I feel like it's more just you coming into this new awareness of your truths, your deeper truths. you know, and really just, you know, taking up the torch. Like I said, the torch is being passed to you and now you're ready to accept it. Kind of like a rite of passage, that sort of thing, you know. It's that kind of energy that I get from it. All right, so let's go to the Moonology and see what guidance and advice we can give you. Ooh. So that came flying out. So your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon, right? So there might be some trials that come up with this, because as I said, you are being handed the torch, right? It's like, okay, this is your time, right, to come into this new expression of being, to go through this type of evolution. It's now your turn to show us what you're truly made of, right? Where do your principles lie? What is your take on your expression of the truth, right? And this isn't about a universal truth, because there are many truths, right? This is about your personal truth when it comes to your own journey, right? So you're being asked to look at that, and it's like, okay, you know, how much does this mean to you? Like, are you more concerned with keeping your light dim, keeping yourself, you know, hidden, right, in order to remain in a place of complacent, of just being in your comfort zone and basically becoming stagnant? Or are you willing to break out of that, even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's challenging and there's a lot of unknowns, right? So that you can take up the torch and really shine, right? So that's what you're being asked. Like, you know, if you are truly ready for this, if you are willing to break out of this shell, you know, and step into this higher expression of yourself, right? This new identity, life's going to throw some trials your way. It's going to see just how committed you are to the journey, to your own evolution, essentially. So that's something to be aware of. So if you feel like all these new situations are being thrown at you, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like now I have to change location, now I have to change job, now I'm changing like friendship groups or whatever, you know, because you have this awareness, you can no longer hide from your own truth and knowing what's for you and what isn't. It's then going to test you and be like, okay, you have this awareness. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to act upon it, or are you going to stay where you are? So that's the thing. That's the decision you'll have to make for yourself. No one can really do that for you, okay? So yeah, don't be surprised if, you know, you find yourself in, you know, situations and environments you've been in for a long time and they no longer make sense to you. They just feel wrong, you know. And in that moment, that's when you'll have to ask myself, do I stay or do I move on, right? Okay, do another shuffle, we'll go into it. It's a bit of crap shuffle, so I'll go again. Okay. No. Too many cards. Oh my gosh. There were some good ones there, but no, that just came out in a mess, so I'm not going to take it like that. Okay. It has to be right. Again, I'll take these, but I suppose I have to take them, okay. So we've got 2 cards for your outcome here. Interesting. Okay, so just bring it down a little bit more. Okay. First card you have is the 7 of Pentacles, right? So just pulling from the Wild Gnome Tarot. Now, with the 7 of Pentacles being in reverse, it's a case of, yeah, okay, sure. You've put a lot of steps in place to secure your current environment. You put a lot of things in place so that you can be comfortable in the situation that you're currently in. So there may be some real reluctance to let that go because you're like, yeah, but I've already invested a lot of time, energy, and resources into getting to where I am now. So the idea of shifting out of all of that and going off into the unknown, that's terrifying, because it wasn't easy getting to where I am now, and now I'm having to change various aspects of my life. I understand that it is never easy. However, stagnancy in a place where you don't belong, in an energy that's not authentic to where you're at now, is the death of progression. That's like the end of personal growth. So that's something we need to come to understand as a collective, that change is often uncomfortable, especially when it's significant change like this. We are forced out of our comfort zone, and it does mean making tough decisions, right? But that's how life is. Life was never meant to be just comfortable, right? It was meant to challenge. It was meant to test. It was meant to force you into growth. That's the whole point. If you're not learning and growing and continuously evolving, why else are you here? What is the point in going about your life at all if it doesn't, if there's no changes, if there isn't that ebb and flow, if there isn't, some kind of progression? And this is not to say that you have to have like a clearly defined career path and be working to become like a top CEO in a corporation. It's not about that. It's just all forms of personal growth: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, right? As well as like your material. It's about growth in general, and whatever direction you take that in. As long as there's growth, there is reflection and understanding and experience and using the acquired knowledge, then you're on your path, right? But if you're not doing that, then what you're doing is just choosing complacency, choosing the comfort zone, which is where all dreams die. So, something worth thinking about. Next card you have is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So more earth energy, your energy, along with Taurus and Virgo. So with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, it's a case of what does even like pure abundance look like to you? I feel like there's, like I said, you need right now, the best thing you can do is take this as an evaluation period before you take the leap of faith in a new direction. So really have a moment to reflect on what would the 10 of Pentacles mean to you in the upright. The 10 of Pentacles is literally having, the family set up, having the material abundance, financial freedom, not being constrained, by your, material reality as such, having a lot of abundance in all forms, right? A lot of love around you, a lot of support, your firm foundations, it's having all of the packages essentially, like the house, the car, the dog, the kids, the wife, the husband, whatever. But it's having everything you could, all of your needs and wishes met. So what does that look like for you? What would be your ultimate wish fulfillment, right? That's what you need to look at, because right now I feel like a lot of you don't actually know, right? And especially because of these changes you're going through, perhaps you don't know because they have changed, because you don't feel the same way about things as you used to. You don't value necessarily some of the same things as you did in the past, not to the same extent. So now you're having to reevaluate, what does ultimate fulfillment look like to me? Because you can't go after something if you don't know what it is, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. Next card you have is the 5 of Wands. So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is in a conflict. I don't feel like this is about you, having conflicts with outside people, although this can happen, but I feel like this is more about you internally, because I feel like whatever conflict will play out in your environment is going to mirror the inner conflict, right? So that's the first thing that needs addressing, because I feel like a part of you is really up for this change and wanting to shake things up, because, you're ready for it. Deep down you're ready for it and it's time. But there's a part of you rooted in the shadow that's afraid, right, of letting go of the old ways of doing things, your old identity, right? Because you're like, yeah, but I'm used to this. I know how this plays out, even though I'm not happy. Because you can see here, he's clearly not happy. He knows he's meant for, he knows he's meant for so much more, but he's still playing the role, right? Even though he's so unhappy. When he lifts his mask off, look at his face. He's so unhappy because he knows he's dimming his light to play a part, right? The mask is no longer suited for him. It doesn't fit well, right? So this is it. It's a case of, you're not happy staying in that energy. So the best thing you can do is put your fears to bed. Understand that, yes, it's going to be a bit scary going after something new, but it's also going to be exciting. It's also going to be rewarding. It's going to allow me to have new experiences, So it's putting your fears properly into its rightful place, right? It's like understanding that, yeah, you're going to be a little bit afraid when you jump off the deep end into something new, but your nervousness and your worry should not outweigh the excitement and the passion for exploration, right? So it's kind of recalibrating so that your fear doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do in life or what you need to do at this point. But yeah, I feel like there could be some disputes that play out as a direct result of your own reservations and fears, right? So just be aware of that. But this is part of your test. Like I said, your commitment is being tested. This is part of you needing to overcome your own fears. So I feel like as much as you may be experiencing certain trials in your environment or your, in terms of certain circumstances that may play out, I feel like the biggest challenge is overcoming your own fear. Now, the next card you have is the High Priestess in reverse. Pisces energy, I also associate it with Cancer. So you could be dealing with a water sign here, but I feel like regardless, this is more about you and your own intuition, right? It's like you've been aware of this for some time, right? You may be only coming into the full realization that you are going through this huge metamorphosis, right, at this point. But you've been aware for some time that there's been a lot of changes going on within you. And now it's like, okay, I've been holding my tongue because, I don't want to speak before, I have all the facts and that my truth is very clear in my own mind. I feel like it is now. So now you know that it's time to express whatever you need to express, whatever your truth is, whatever you need to break out from, whatever cycles you've been stuck in, now is the time to break free of that. So I feel like you now need to speak and express your truth through words, through actions, right? Now's the time. And then as your potential outcome, you have the Father of Swords in reverse, which is air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And you also have the Son of Cups, water energy. So you could have those placements strongly in your chart, or you could be dealing with an air sign and a water sign. But regardless, I feel like it's a case of when you stand in your truth, right? People often think that you have to be like, very authoritative and just kind of not even be willing to hear what anyone else has to say. It's just like, you're there, you're doing what you're doing, that's it, you're stubborn, you don't care. It's not about that, and it's not about switching off your heart space either. It's not about becoming cold to people. It's just literally a case of knowing you're doing what's right for you. You see how he's got a cup, he's got the torch, right? And you see how the cup is so similar to that. You've got the fire and the water. So this is you basically. I'm surprised that the Magician didn't come up, because that's what I'm getting from this combination. It's like you kind of taking your passion back for life and not dimming your light anymore, choosing to shine, right? And that's really going to help open up your heart space as well, because perhaps you've been feeling emotionally very dormant for a long time. And now that your heart space is opening up, now you're getting this clarity and this truth coming in about what it is that you need to do, who you're now about, your new identity, all the rest of it. You're now feeling like your cup is full, is filling, right? You're feeling energized. You're feeling like, your passion, your enthusiasm, your love for life, for the things you care about is coming back in a really profound way. and allowing your cup to be filled again is what's going to help carry you forward. It's like you don't need to throw your weight around and, you know, assert dominance in the situation. All you need to do is keep replenishing yourself, keep refilling yourself, you know, really use that inspiration, that drive, that determination, that passion, that gratitude that's coming in to propel you forward. And you'll do amazing things. You will surprise yourself, right? You'll be in a completely different place from where you were just recently. So this is the thing. It's like you taking like opposing elements and mashing it together to create a very different set of circumstances, to really step into your power and, you know, seize the day, take the opportunity while it's there, because you're coming to this realization like time is short, man. I don't have all the time in the world, so if I want to do things, now's the time to do it. So that's really awesome. Actually, it's a very powerful reading for you, Capricorn, especially because we do have certain planets in your sign. I can't remember what they are. I haven't been closely looking at the astrological reports lately, and my memory is awful. But I do know we do have several significant planets in your sign right now. So yeah, now is the time to really reflect and to take action, right? Because you are in this new energy now. You are not the same person as you were. So obviously there's going to be certain changes that need to take place, right? So anyway, I really hope this reading helps. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't forget the notifications bell. And yeah, we'll see about your next reading, what comes up then. I feel like a lot of your readings, especially the shadow work ones, Capricorn, it's all been about you coming into realization of self, you reclaiming your power, you coming to the understanding of your own inner truth, and really using the divine guidance that's coming in to cross the threshold, right? Move beyond your preconceived boundaries and limitations and into a world of possibilities, right? So yeah, sending you so much support in this journey. You know, just take it step by step and just take time for yourself to integrate this new awareness, right? And then make the changes that you need to make. And you'll be all set. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.